Greetings, and nerds, I'm Late Universe, and I'm White and Nerdy, and it's time for another YouTube subscriber poll here, and this one kinda caught me off guard from how not as high voted as it was. And I apologize for that in advance. I was trying to pick things that you guys would be interested in, especially throwing in the Ms. Marvel comics since I wanted to talk about them for a while too. And this one was a very low voted. And keep in mind, the last one that I had almost had 60 votes, which was still pretty good. The one where I done Spawn, the animated series, and them was like 85 or something. So, apologies in advance for this one that I didn't have as many of you guys voting. It's just that I came down at the time that I was recording this, came down with a gum infection. So, you can probably maybe see that a side of my face is like slightly swollen than the other, and that's why. Brush your teeth, don't get gum infections. But anyway, the highest grossing one that you guys wanted me to see is a review is the Kung Fu Panda Trilogy. And now I know that there's a part 4, but I don't own it yet, and I want to review it next year. But Fu Panda the Trilogy is amazing, and what's astonishing is that this month, Kung Fu Panda had turned 16 years old, so it's kind of like a good little sweet 16 present to go back and look at all three of these films as they are excellent. They were put out by DreamWorks and they came out during 2008, which at the time we didn't have quite that many martial arts films in the genre. And this one comes to a surprise that a lot of people actually really did like it, and it became a trilogy. Well, what's the term for four? Quadrilogy? So it's now a quadrilogy. And of course, and a lot of people talk about him too, and you cannot talk about Kung Fu Panda without mentioning him, the great and amazing Jet Black, who won and who's winning 2 awards for voicing Bowser and coming back as Poe, and I congratulate this man so much. So please excuse me for this review because I'll mostly be behind the camera for the most part because I'll be jumping through 3 movies and trying to tie them up and tie them together as quickly as possible. So let's get this show on the road and see what can be done. Let's go kung fu fighting in China, and also let's get destined to become the Dragon Warrior and train the Furious Five, and perhaps find a little bit of ourselves inside of these characters. This is my review of the Kung Fu Panda trilogy, so please enjoy. You know the drill, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more like this, and also let me know if I should check out Kung Fu Panda 4. Don't spoil it for me, just let me know if it would be worth checking out. Even for people that say no, guess what? I am still going to check it out. So, anyways, without further ado, let's go to China, become the Dragon Warrior and the hero of mankind, and also a big fluffy cartoon panda. This is my review and retrospective of the Kung Fu Panda trilogy. Let's kick things off first with the amazing Kung Fu Panda, released in 2008 and became a worldwide phenomenon and a worldwide success. In Kung Fu Panda, we meet a Kung Fu, panda. He is an actual nerd, actually, named Po, who is obsessed with Kung Fu and the Furious Five. And we can see Po is kind of, to put in short, he's kind of a pathetic loser. He's a nerd, he's overweight, and he seems that he's going nowhere in life, including trying to find out who he is at the same time, while he knows that he's adopted by Mr. Ping, voiced by the incredible and amazing James Tsai, and he's trying to find his place in the world. That is until he suddenly realized that he was destined for greatness the moment when Master Oogway has chosen him to become the next Dragon Warrior. As his destiny is to become part of the Furious Five and to be trained by Master Shifu and learn the ways of the magical styles of Kung Fu and try to fight against the main enemy. As the main enemy of this film is Tai Lung, voiced by the incredible, the talented, and the amazing Ian McShane, who does a terrific job voicing this wonderful villain. Kung Fu Panda, the original, or just Kung Fu Panda in general, is a terrific movie, especially a terrific animation film, and it really stood out, especially coming out in 2008. Also, this film be sure to get you straight in the heart and making you feel all the feels, especially with the backstory of Tai Lung. Dear God, he has a terrific backstory. Kung Fu Panda's message is mostly trying to find out who you are, but really all you have to know is that you're already special from the inside out, and that's all that should matter. If you haven't seen this piece of cinematic history yet, I highly recommend that you do, as Kung Fu Panda is awesome and it's still one of my all-time favorite animated film trilogy.
You're bluffing. You're bluffing! Shifu didn't teach you that. Nope. I figured it out. Skadoosh.
From here, we're gonna move right along to Kung Fu Panda 2, the sequel to the original and also one of my personal favorite Kung Fu film trilogies. After being chosen and destined to be the Dragon Warrior, Po now faces a new challenge. He must find out who he truly is in order to really master and understand the role of the Dragon Warrior. But this time, the Kung Fu Panda and also the Furious Five are not just going up against an enemy that knows Kung Fu, they're going up against an enemy that can kill martial arts masters. As Po, this time around with the Furious Five, have to figure out how to stop this new threat and hopefully save the world of Kung Fu masters in and as a total. As the villain of Kung Fu Panda 2 is quite legendary, Shen, a man or peacock who knows the dangers of gunpowder. But in this film, this is also where we get the origin story for Po, where he came from. Well, for the most part, it won't be really added up until towards the end of part 3. But as Po soon finds out, it was actually Shen that was the one that killed his family. He obliterated his family because of a warning he was given to by a soothsayer. And the backstory for Po that was given to him in this film, oh my god, will grab you right by the heartstrings and make sure that you do cry. In my personal opinion, Kung Fu Panda 2 had the better story of the rest of them, but that's just my opinion, as I do like the darker and kind of more sinister story that was given to this and the truthfulness. As this film is definitely one of the best that you should see, and if you haven't seen Kung Fu Panda 2 but the original, I highly recommend giving it a shot and giving it a chance if you can. As this movie also at the time teased that there would be a Kung Fu Panda 3, but we had to wait a while before it was made, but it was nice to know that they basically copied the MCU.
Did you do it? You know, you just keep your elbows up, keep the shoulders loose. Fuck that. How did you
Now we finally finish off the trilogy of reviews with Kung Fu Panda 3. Po has been the Dragon Warrior for at least a couple of years now, and he is finally ready for his final task, the one that Master Shifu is finally going to give him in all of this. As Shifu decided that now is the time for them to have a new teacher, and their new teacher just so happened to be Po, the lucky one that was chosen to be the Dragon Warrior is now the teacher. But unfortunately for Po, he is very unorganized, he's very uneasy, and also he just wasn't ready to take on the duty and responsibility of being a teacher. And with the new villain on the rise, Kai, voiced by J.K. Simmons himself, it really does make him seem like Po will really need to learn how to become the next teacher in order to stop this new threat. And also we finally get to meet Po's father that was teased in Kung Fu Panda 2, Lin, voiced by the one talented and amazing Bryan Cranston, and I'm not joking. As the new threat, Kai can capture Kung Fu masters and use them as basically Jade zombies or just mindless beings that serve his every wish and command. So with the new threat on the rise, Po must travel back to his home village with his father in order to learn the secret magical effect and ability known only as Shi. Because the secret village of pandas way back in the day had saved Master Shifu by using the art of Shi to heal him and teaching him the art of Shi. As it was wonderful to see Po interact with his own family and basically act like kind of childish the time when he finally would get to meet his basically true and summoned family. As we find out that Lin knows nothing about the sacred martial art of Shi, and he was lying to him just to get to his son in his life, and if it wasn't for Mr. Ping, he would forget all about his true destiny. As Po suddenly realizes what he has to do, basically by the end of the movie, which is basically to the point, how films sometimes work, especially animated ones. And also, what an incredible moment and scene it was when Po sacrificed himself to take Kai back to the spirit realm just so he could defeat him and protect his family. as by this moment and by this time, Paul was definitely chosen to be the Dragon Warrior, as he was truly prepared at finding himself and realizing what he means to the world.
I am the Dragon Warrior. Get it? See the giant dragon?
Kung Fu Panda 3 is an absolute delight to watch, and every time I watch it, I can't help but crack a smile, even with all three of these films in this great trilogy of animated Kung Fu films.